Finally, the time has come. Amazonas are now meta. Yes, we do not have Amazonas Village yet. However, with Amazonas Village added to this deck, it would be even more amazing than it already is. But at present state, it is beautiful. We're going to quickly talk about the deck. We're going to show you guys a few replays with the help of some of my fellow Impact players from the Discord. So if you are new, please hit that subscribe button and join our Discord in the description below as well. We are approaching the 1200 member mark. And as you guys can see here, your boy Anime has heavily invested into the Amazonas archetype over the past year plus. We have 3 Amazonas Paladin. I do have 3 Amazonas Swordswoman, but I tacked in. I'm only running 2 because I needed to make a little bit of room for other Amazonas that support the deck as well, including Amazonas Sage, which is really nice because she can destroy back row, which is really clutch. You know, she could be very clutch in certain situations. Amazonas Fighter, usually I don't run her, but with her and Heirloom, she is amazing. Because here's the thing. Heirloom is going to protect you from actually being destroyed by battle once per turn, basically. Unless you have more than one attached to it. And the thing is, Amazonas Fighter cannot take any battle damage. You take no battle damage from attacks involving this card. So that combo is very disgusting. Okay? That is an amazing combo. Plus, this card here also destroys your opponent's monster after the damage calculation. So that combo, as you guys can see, is pretty disgusting. Of course, Amazonas Paladin gets boosted. There is no Tigers. There was no room for Tiger, unfortunately. You guys could tech in 1 or 2 Tiger to boost everybody, but unfortunately, he didn't have enough room. You know, we didn't have enough room for him because other options were too good. Now, we also have Archers. Archers is the only card in this deck right now that I'm contemplating actually dropping off for Econs or Super Rush Headlong or maybe Wall of D or Mirror Walls or even maybe Forbidden Chalice, you know, to go against the Sylvans and stuff like that. Those are kind of the things I want to do with it because Archers I rarely get off, to be completely honest, but Archers is really good against stall decks and of course also mill decks. So, you know, it's a really good card, but it's like that is the card right now, if any, that I'm contemplating replacing with other back row protection, like even like Windstorm or Curse of Anubis or anything like that. I just feel like Archer is a great card, but I think it's too slow for this current meta, and there's better options, I think. So that card, unfortunately, I think may be the card that I will swap out. Now, bring us to some of the new cards. Besides the Heirloom, we had some new amazing things. I cannot believe this card is a rare. Amazonas Onslaught, Continuous Trap. Okay, once per turn during the battle phase, you can special summon 1 Amazonas monster from your hand, and if you do, it gains 500 attack until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. After damage calculation, if your Amazonas monster battle an opponent's monster while this card is already face up in your spell and trap zone, you can banish that opponent's monster. If this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Amazonas monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So, it's very good card, especially against Sylvans. We actually can do pretty well against Sylvans because if they destroy your Amazonas Onslaught with their back row Komashrumo, you can then special summon 1 of your Amazonas that are in the graveyard. During the battle phase, you can special summon Amazonas monster to the field. If they attack it, even if it dies, that monster that attacked it is still going to get banished. If you attack that monster and they wall D you for whatever reason, and you still attacked it, they're still going to lose that monster. It's a very good card, especially if you have Onslaught and Heirloom on the field. Oh my goodness, look out. Very strong card. And then our secret tech, Vision Hero Witch Raider. Why is this card so good? Because you can tribute either 2 traps, 2 monsters, or 1 of each, and get this card on the field. And when she's special summoned, well, not technically special summoned, when she's tribute summoned to the field with Fields of the Warrior skill, she's going to be at 2100 defense, 2900 attack, and she completely nukes your opponent's back row. So very good tech, and it also helps if I'm playing against stall decks and they floodgate my monsters for whatever reason, or they try to zing who my back row traps and I couldn't get them off early enough. we don't even care because Vision Hero Witch Raider will come in and take care of that. So very, very good Tekken. So anyways, this deck so far has been a ton of fun for me. You guys can have different Tekkens, of course, but Witch Raider was definitely a fun Tekken for me. Like I said, this is going to go through more experimentation, but so far this deck, in my opinion, is honestly could be meta, if not extremely good meta, especially if we get a village to drop. Let's go into some of the actual duel rooms, the actual duel replays here. I think we have 4 or 5 saved. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we have. I believe we have 5. Okay. Unless this first duel was something else. I can't remember offhand here. Nope. Alright, so we did a lot of deck testing against Red Eyes Man, and I believe we also had Eddie involved here. So thank you guys so much for helping me test this deck out to kind of showcase the abilities that this deck has. Because I don't really like testing decks out too often anymore in PvP. Because a lot of people are just running a lot of weird decks that make no sense. They're not really anything you're going to see, you know, usually. So they tried some new decks here, which I was thankful for. I think they also played a couple meta decks as well. So we had pretty thorough testing. We also did a lot more after the duel room testing as well. We did some in PvP, and it still did very, very well. I mean, this deck is just very powerful. So he's going to Into the Void me. Into the Void me. Into the Void. Alright, so as you can see here, I'm going to destroy it with Heirloom no matter what. It's going to be destroyed regardless, but... And then you got 2100 from Paladin. They're going to use Onslaught, bring out another monster, and go for game. Very, very, very cool card, Onslaught. Very powerful. As you guys can see, the OTK potential is there. What you guys could try to do, honestly, is another good Tekken. Because I think archers, you really don't need archers. I think you could Tekken maybe Hey Trunade or even anti-magical arrows. And you could do some really devastating things. So, you know, definitely look for all that to come out to the meta. Like, you're definitely going to start seeing a lot of people running Amazonas. When you see Joey using the field spell skill, you know, look out. It could be pretty deadly. You might be in for a ride with Amazonas for sure. And like I said, back row lockdown, that's fine because that's why I run Raider. Because I feel like that's the perfect counterbalance to that. Mirror Wall right here. He was running some tilt decks here, which is kind of funny. We're going to go ahead and add Heirloom. He's going to go ahead and stop that with Wall of D, but it's not going to matter. We're still going to be able to destroy his monster. We will take a little bit of damage, but that's fine. And we're going to be able to nuke his back row. All of that stuff we did that quick, and then he just went ahead and rage quit because he told me he had no other options. He was basically screwed at that point. Very devastating card. These are just basically to show you some of the things that the cards can do. The new cards, Heirloom and Onslaught. Raider will even get a little bit of love here in one of these duel replays, so don't worry. You get to see her in action too. I mean, this deck is just so good. I don't think I can praise it enough. Like, I've been excited for Amazonas and Gravekeepers to get some new viable support for so long, and I'm glad that Amazonas finally can be usable. It's actually viable now in the game, and it's not even at full strength yet. And then now we're just waiting on Gravekeepers. Because this was a deck that I invested a lot of farming into for so long, and I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I can finally use it. Now, against aliens and any kind of, I would say, control decks, you're going to have a little bit of problem with. The control decks might be your worst enemy. That and Econ, of course. I still feel like Econ needs to be semi-limited. That card is just so devastating. After all this time, it's still probably the best spell card, if not the best card ever in the game, period. It's just so devastating. But yeah, so that's kind of the biggest weakness for this deck. But like I said, you could change that up by adding Chalice, by adding Econs yourself, maybe Super Rush, maybe Wall of D. You know, anything that you could think of, you could try some of those as well. And just he took me out. He's got Alien Telepath coming in. This monster got destroyed because of Triangle. We got Swordswoman. You could even experiment with running only 1 Sage and 3 Triangle. Or I'm not 3 1 Sage and 3 Swordswoman, because Swordswoman, we don't care what their back row is with Swordswoman as long as it's not a Super Rush. So he's going to go ahead and put counters on me. He's going to attack into me, but he's going to take the damage. And then we're going to go ahead and pretty much finish this up, I do believe, here very soon. So he's in a top deck mode now. And he didn't have the top deck that he needed. We pulled another monster. And that's basically all she wrote. So Amazonas are very, very powerful right now. Onslaught, I don't know how it's a rare, like I said. Heirloom being an SR is definitely warranted. That card is really, really good. But we got 2 matches left. And I forget which one it was, either against Yugi or Weevil, but we actually busted out Raider and showed how useful she can be in this deck as a good one of Tekken. Okay. Yugi boy. So Fields of the Warrior, such a great skill. Like you said, you can experiment with different skills too, like Restart, Dual Standby. You can try even Firm as Earth if you want. I mean, you can try a lot of different things. That's completely up to you. I just like Fields of the Warriors because of the defensive and attack boost. Getting your Paladin to a quick 2,000 right off the bat is nice. So he just went ahead and lost the game there because you guys know you bring out Raider and that's all she wrote. But you guys are seeing the fast-paced potential with Amazons. They are not slow by any means. I think the slowest part of them is probably Archer, and I feel like you can replace Archer. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Archer is probably the card that I'm really contemplating taking out, for sure. This one's against a Weevil Underwood. I played this against Sylvans in PvP. It won 2 out of 3, so I won 2-1 against Sylvans, which is really, really nice. I think the next video I'm going to be dropping after this will probably be showcasing the new Gear Gaia control deck. We're going to see if we can do some spicy plays with that. I got a really nice Tekken for that deck as well. Until I get my mask changed, we won't be doing any mask heroes yet on the channel, but we'll get to that hopefully at some point. As you can see, he floodgated my monster. And guys, if your monster is floodgated, Onslaught will not work with your floodgated monster because you have to activate it before the monster flips. So unfortunately, unlike Spike Shield, you're not going to be able to get that spicy kind of combo off with a face down if they attack into it. So if they do get floodgated, you're in a little bit of deep shit there. But like I said, control decks are this deck's biggest weakness, but you can still get around it, especially with cards like Raider, which you can see here. Raider coming in. We're going to smash this man, take out his queen, and boom. That's basically all she wrote at that point. Now he's in a tough situation. He just went ahead and went in hard to kill himself because there's nothing he could have done. Very, very, very strong. Like I said, the weaknesses right now are control and probably econ. Your 2 biggest weaknesses to this deck. But you could change that up by teching in some cards to kind of defend against that. If you want to beat Sylvans very easily, you could run 3 Providence if you want. You could send a monster to the grave, you know, sacrifice that, or you can use Forbidden Chalice. You could tech that in as well. Chalice could be used offensively as much as it can be used defensively. So I mean, that's some things you could do, but you guys more or less saw the Amazonas in action. It's amazing. I love it. I'm having a blast with it right now. I'm probably gonna play it some in streams, probably a lot. I just love Amazonas. It's really, really fun. And it's so free to play friendly. Let's take a quick look at the deck real quick before we get out of here, and show you how free to play friendly this deck really honestly is. Alright, you don't need Raider. That's my personal Tekken, so don't at me saying, oh, it's not free to play, you got a freaking Raider in there. Okay? No. You don't have to have Raider, that's just my personal Tekken. The deck itself is so free to play friendly, it's ridiculous. The only SR you need from a box set is Heirloom. And you really only need 2. 3 is just good for is optimal, but 2 is fine. Everything else is farmable, except for the Onslaughts, but those are rares. This is probably one of the most free-to-play decks in Duel Links right now. I mean, literally, you only need 1 SR or higher card. I think the only other deck that could be comparable to how free-to-play friendly it is probably Aliens. But Aliens also sometimes need a lot of high-end tech in back row or something like that. So I guess it's kind of about the same. So I'd say Amazonas and Aliens are very, very, very free-to-play friendly. Sylvans are the same way. They need Komushrumo 3 of, and that's about it. You know, then you could slap in some Providence and a lot of rares and stuff like that. So there's a lot of decks coming lately that are very free-to-play friendly, that are very, very powerful. I mean, we sit there and we complain all the time about how, you know, we got to keep going into these boxes and boxes and boxes. But if you're a YouTuber, it is bad because we do got to go in because we're expected to. You know, we got to make new content. But for you guys, if you really think about it, if you really sit there and think about it, the last 2 or 3 box sets are very free-to-play friendly. in terms of how strong decks are. Like, look at Sylvans. They're amazing right now, right? Very free-to-play friendly. Amazonas right now are looking really good. Free-to-play friendly, right? Gear Gaia are pretty free-to-play friendly as well, depending on how you build them. I think mine's a little bit more on the pricey side, but you can really make a free-to-play one, and it's really, really strong. You just need the SR, Gear Gaia Attacker, I believe, if you want to, back row. Yeah, so anyways, my point stands, there's a lot of free-to-play meta right now that's very, very strong. But, of course, you still do have your really high-end pay-to-win meta that's still, sitting up there. But still, free-to-play meta is really strong right now. I got to give Konami props for that. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the Amazon's deck. Like I said, I'll be back in the next one, bringing you guys, I think Gear Guy will be next. And then I'll showcase my replays for my King of Games rank up if you guys missed that stream because, spoiler alert, I'm King of Games. Anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you did. Comment below what you guys think about Amazonas. Are you guys ready for Village to come soon? Or do you think Village might be too powerful with Onslaught and Heirloom already in the game? Let me know in the comment section below. Until then, I'm going to get out of here. Subscribe again if you're new. Join our Discord. Peace.